Hi, this is Damien from AtHope, and this is Damien. Say hi, Damien. Alrighty, so let's get started. All right. Hey, I was gonna tell a story. You want to talk too? Yeah, really? I guess she wants to talk. Yeah, Demon. Okay, let me talk now. Uh huh. Yeah. Okay. All right. We hear you. We hear you. Okay. Come here, a stupid but positive story I call Altruism and Trash. Here's a story about the benefits of helping. I was a big rig over the road truck driver, and I would go out for a few months at a time. And I was living in California at the time, but I was actually in a truck in Illinois. And let me tell you, it was a shitty, filthy, nasty truck stop. And I was actually broke off my ass. I did. It was early in the morning, and I had absolutely no money for the whole day, and I had no food, nothing to drink. And the reason I was broke was because I was not good that week, with managing my money. Well, it was actually I spent too much money at a strip club, if you know the real truth. But anyways, I was totally broke, and it was totally my fault. And as a truck driver, I was sitting there at a time at this truck stop, so I couldn't even drive, and was just bored. And I had a teammate with me too, and of course he was also broke. So we were both broke with no money, both because of the same reason. So as a truck driver, we would get like weekly amounts we could get, but I had already taken that advance, and once again, it was just poor managing of my money. But anyways, I had really not really cared about my food needs, obviously. So let's get to the part of being at me sitting at the truck stop and feeling sorry for myself, as you would imagine one would. And in my truck, I was thinking, I can't get my advance until tomorrow morning is when I could get the next advance. So I couldn't even get the money if I wanted. But yet I had a big paycheck coming up, and I could get this money like tomorrow. But tomorrow was a long way away. I was out of food, out of money, and it was day. It only started. It was 6 a.m. I, as most people, was feeling very, very sorry for myself. I was even getting angry because I was feeling, well, I feel hopeless. And there I was, broke and starving. Well, not starving, but becoming hungry. And growing ever more angry at myself and just the world. And I looked out at the feelings, and I could just see, not just in my own self, I felt, cruddy, but I was looking at the truck stop, and it was a shithole, and there was trash everywhere, like they just never had even tried to clean it up. And I was getting, just mad that it was so filthy that I had to be stuck at this place where I'm looking out and this human trash is just dirtying up, all the patches of the grass. And it was slowly, making the grass, turn brown. And that grass color, is announcing, its death. And I was just thinking, this truck stop is dying, and here I am feeling terrible. And I realized even though I had nothing to do and no money to do it with, but I could step outside myself. Here I am stuck. I have no money. I can't go anywhere. So I'm out of hours. And so I thought, well, maybe I can make a difference, in this truck stop. I could do something good. I mean, I can't do anything else. It would sit here and feel bad. And, it's not like I always feel like I want to be helpful, but I realize being helpful, uh, even though we can't cure cancer, it does good in the world. And what I see is I could help by picking up the trash. But don't get this wrong. This was still somewhat selfish. I was just sick of looking at it. I had to fucking sit there and look at all this garbage. And it was making me feel more depressed. So I went into the truck stop and I asked for a trash bag. But she gave me more than one. As when I asked for the trash bag, the lady behind the counter, and she looked like one, who deeply would believe in others, but was disheartened, in her demeanor. And when I asked, I told her I want the trash bags, and how she looked was like, kind of like almost depressed, like, who cares, or I don't think she totally believed, or she thought it was weird because I told her I was going to go pick up the trash. She was even stern and questioning my need for the trash bag. And when I told her, though, it was to pick up trash at her truck stop parking lot, she became very joyful. Like one who was under water and all of a sudden had been saved. She gave me 4 trash bags. I was like, well, and amazing though, I started feeling happier. I mean, just because of her happiness and her being so happy that I was doing it, that made me happy. I started to feel good. And so at first, I must admit, it started all with positive thoughts, but it started happening. I started feeling more joyful and more joyful myself. I was just about to fill one of the large trash bags, and I was tired of bending over and picking up trash. I don't know. It was just a couple hours, maybe 3 hours. I don't know. What can I say? I gave it the old college try. I went back to the store, up to the cashier to return the unused bags. And she said, what you did was the most inspirational thing I've ever seen. I want to give you some food as a reward. I was exploding inside and so happy. I was so surprised, as I never thought I would get anything. I would not get food. I only wanted to do something good. First to make me feel better, and then the other sad situation, to make others feel better. She gave me, though, enough food for 2. And like I said, I had a partner who was also broke. And that day I realized the power of doing good. But wait, there's more I hadn't told you. Like I said, I was not alone. I was a driver trainer. And the partner with me was a student driver. And as, it would be that he, like I said, was broke and starving. And so we were 2 angry, starving drivers. And we weren't able to drive, like I said. And I had been kind of, harsh on him, but he completely was losing it. And he would act as if it was so tragic he hit, like, an iceberg. He was, feeling all bad for himself, and he was actually putting me down and calling me names while I was picking up trash. But, when I went back, I gave him half of the food. It's because there was a meal's enough for 2. I could have been selfish and just ate it all. That way I could have had 2 meals that day instead of just 1. But no, that's not what I did. Instead, I offered to share half of what I had with my student as I knew he was starving too. He was shocked as well, to say the least. First, because I had even picked up the trash, regardless of how he taunted me, yelling at me that I was crazy. Second, that I had been rewarded with the food, the very thing we so desperately needed. And third, because not hardly the least of his impact on him was of me sharing the food that I had worked hours for picking up trash, while he had done nothing. May we all help others in need. I realize we rise by helping each other.